I'm Rodger Fisher. I'm at Chicod School. I'm a 7th grade social studies teacher and have been for way too long. We brought 34 students with 15 projects in every category. Probably our most competitive projects on our preview would be the documentaries. We had some students who were, demonstrated some technological savvy and did a great deal of in-depth research and have been able to put something nice together. I think that will be competitive.
How many documentaries?
We had 3, 2 groups, 1 individual. The individual one seems to be the shining star. We'll see what happens. You never know. I've been fooled by the judges before. We had a performance I was very excited about. The girls got here and forgot their process paper and bibliography, so they have no chance.
Oh no.
But they learned from that, and they're 7th graders, so next year they'll have a real shot at getting it right. We've found that to be a pattern, which is why we've tried to encourage many 6th graders to get involved. We haven't been successful with that until this year. We had 1 6th grader come out with a website. We start out with the boring stuff, unfortunately. We start out with the rule book because so many times the students end up putting together a nice project that they're used to doing for schoolwork and end up, forgetting something, being disqualified because they missed a rule, exceeded the word limit, something like that. So we would let them know what the rules are to start with, but then we get into the exciting things of really trying to find a topic that they're interested in. And we talk about putting together something that, they've all been to museums. When you go through a museum and you pass by an exhibit and you kind of glance at it and say, oh, that's nice, but then you see one and say, oh, wow, I want to go see that. And that's what we try to get them to put together. And then they get excited about it.
How do you go through the process of prepping them for the year? Do you have any
we spend an awful lot of time on research skills, on primary and secondary sources. What's the difference? How do you read them? How do you analyze them? What's usable? What isn't usable? Learning to stay away from Wikipedia. Learning to stay away from and evaluate websites to decide whether they are appropriate or not. Last year and the year before, we've had students make it to states. Unfortunately, we haven't had anybody make it to nationals yet. They were one step away. And I think the reason that they were so excited about it and the reason it's a real success story is because the kids took it from day one on their own, got excited about it, learned the lessons from the previous year and were able to apply those lessons. And really put together a nice competitive project that fit the theme, that met all of the requirements, and that they were very proud of. And so they learned what they were supposed to learn, and that's the success. And if we could put together a history club and have those students use that time to work on projects in school, then they wouldn't be so, their out of school time wouldn't be used up as much with it, and they could get a little bit more advice from their teachers while they're at school. As it is now, they're having to do it, almost all of it on their own at home. They get very little school time to work on these projects, and so that speaks volumes to their dedication. Don't be intimidated. In fact, I have a friend who's here who brought several students out just as observers, and there's nothing wrong with that. If you don't be intimidated by it, don't be scared of it, put something together, bring it out and learn what it's all about, and then go back and get it right for the next year so that you can be competitive. I personally stayed away from it for several years because I didn't think that I had the time or the inclination or honestly the student interest to be able to put together a competitive project, and so I stayed away.